So we're taking people out there, and all of a sudden, the horses are way on another hill on a ridge, and we get them to be still and quiet for a minute, and before they even notice it, the horses have grazed, and you don't notice it, but they're suddenly surrounding you. And that has made a difference, whether it's the inner city kids that we work with that have come down from South Central and whatnot through Peace for Kids Foundation and Calm and other groups that have come out, and corporate executives and the general public, So it's just so beautiful to create an environment where we have a value, where we can appreciate the value of something, whether it is the water we're drinking, the land we're standing on and sharing with all these other species, whether it's the horse, a species that we're used to seeing as a domesticated animal, but to start to feel the kinship and to have a value, because only then can we really inspire true conservation. And that's what Return to Freedom is really about at its heart, and my response to the domestication of the planet, because that's what I felt I was up against growing up. I left home right after high school. I traveled around the world, lived in a bamboo hut in India, and just had a whole different kind of world than a lot of people that I grew up with had. I had a different experience of it. And I think I came back from all the travels thinking, we're just domesticating the planet and we're harvesting everything. And it was killing me. It was like it hurt my heart. So I just really kept getting this download of how do I want to spend the rest of my time here. And so that was, step one, and then learning from the people that came, learning from the horses directly about what they are and what makes a herd community, and that led into a lot of things, like the historical strains that are disappearing that came into this country, that returned to America in the 1500s and whatnot. So there's just a lot of education that goes with it. A lot of it's thinky think, a lot of it's heart, and but I guess the thing that's inspiring me the most right now is working on the regenerative holistic grazing, which is saving the land that we've mismanaged at the sanctuary for many years. And I wish I knew then what I know now, but I'm working with people like Roger Savory and Alejandra Correa, and people that are doing this work and learning, like, oh my God, like 82 million acres of America is desert, certified desert. 200 million acres is soon going to be. And when you look at the success of this kind of regenerative work, hail to you. It's like, we can change this, and we need to change this. I don't see another way to do it but to go in that direction with everything, Looking at the results at one of our sanctuaries in San Luis Obispo in 1 year, it's just amazing. And it's really allowing, a lot of grazing to happen. And they're pooping, they're urinating, they're eating, their hooves are turning things up, and then you move them. So you keep them moving, more similar to the way it would be, thousands of years ago when you had no wildlife corridors blocking wildlife, movement, and you had larger predators moving herds constantly. It's not like strip grazing, it's different. It's more like a lot of movement and a lot of rest. And the results that I've seen is, it's just so inspiring. And I'm inspired because, I've been raising money to throw hay to horses for a long time. So this is kind of like it's a new inspiration. It's like, okay, this makes sense. And when you start seeing the results and you see the movement of it, and more people doing it, in whether it's agriculture or it's grazing their livestock for their food business or whatnot, and you start seeing the results, it's a positive direction. Or it's gonna be like Mars if we don't do something, So I'm really excited about it, also politically, because it changes the conversation. And trying to get the Bureau of Land Management to change the way they're managing our public lands is going to be a battle. But if we can do these pilot programs and keep things going, which we're doing one right now with Alejandro Carrillo in Arizona. He's got a small pilot program going on with the military there, and we just sent 10 burros to go along with the cows. So hopefully next Alaska to send some horses. So when Mustangs, they love to sell the cigarettes with the Mustang or whatever, but they don't, but it's a bad word if you're in Nevada or Wyoming or, you know, most areas of the Rogue West, where they see them as a threat to their way of life with cattle ranching. So to flip the conversation and say, no, the cows and the horses and the wildlife, there can be more. And they all win, and they're all part of the solution. We have to change the way we're managing them. So that's exciting to me.
Thank you.